were just out here shooting from the hip, hoping that you hit something, trying to win at all costs, and you lost, and you just can't swallow it.
So pause, Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey, yo.
Yeah. I let that one hang out there. He can't swallow. Yep. We gonna let that
hang out there. Hey,
let that sit right there.
800K on my neck. I'm proud of myself. House I pay $2 million cash. You better pray. You don't want this beam on your ass.
And another one, DJ Khaled. What's up, fellas? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Natives We're Killed Day, and we're celebrating. So I hope y'all had time with family.
Real talk.
Oh, shit.
How was everybody's week?
Week was good.
Man,
Week was good. Week was good. You know, it was a short week in terms of having the holiday. I did go into work on Friday. That was kind of buns, but it wasn't too bad. I got out early. Was able to enjoy the rest of the day. It's been chill, man. You know, it's holiday time. You know, everything's relaxed. Everything's calming down.
Tell them it's Black Friday and only white people have to work.
Oh, my God. They were like, nah, man, I'm not going to. Nah, that's not how this works. I was like, what are we going to have Black Friday sales for what I do for work? That don't work. That don't work, you know? I'm like, fuck that, dude. What the hell? But yeah. But all in all, it's been a good week. It's been really, really solid. You know, again, I'm really excited because it's the holiday time, which just means it's just the days go by quicker. I feel like the weeks go by quicker because it's just everyone's just like, yo, can we get to the holidays? Can we get to the break? I'm taking my vacation. No one's around. It's great. So that's how it's going for me.
Nice. Q, what's up, brother?
Man, recovery mode, man. Thanksgiving was a beast. We had a lot of family over. I don't know how I got talking into hosting. I don't know how that happened. Like, everyone just showed up. I'm like, why is everyone here? But it was good though. The kids have fun. You know, it was good to fellowship, as they say. It was very good. And then I did not have to work on Friday, which was fantastic. So I just slept my ass in and let everything kind of go to the wind, you know. Didn't check on, you know, are the kids awake? Did they have breakfast? Man, there's Thanksgiving food down there. Go do your thing. Fend for yourself like I did. So yeah, it was a good week, man. It was a real good week.
Nice. Yeah. We had my grandma on the phone. We made grandma's recipes on Thanksgiving. It was just me and the wife. Took some leftovers to the fam. So yeah, we did all of grandma's recipes. The sweet potato pie, sweet potato casserole, the greens, the dressing, all of it. We did all of it just here, us two. And I ate to my heart's content. Gained all the weight back that I tried to lose over the past couple weeks. So shout out to Thanksgiving. And yeah, shout out to the wife. It was her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to my baby out there. Sagittarius season. Let's go. Happy birthday. My best thing that I heard this week is dedicated to you, who holds me down all the time. So happy birthday to the wifey. We had a really, really nice dinner. Q, next time you're down here, I'll roll you over there to that spot we went to. It's really nice. It's good.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we got a lot to talk about because man, on this podcast we like to let the gumbo marinate a little bit. You know, you gotta let it stew. You know, we don't react real, so we gotta let the gumbo sit on the stove for a while, and that's what we decided to do this week. But obviously, Drake needed to step on Kendrick's release with a couple of petitions, right? We'll keep it accurate. But before we get into that, I just want to say, let's get back to best thing we heard. I know a lot of people get to hear new shit when we release this. So best thing you heard this week, shoot.
Let's put people back onto some music. Let's go. All right. So stepping out of, everything that we've been listening to, which has, I think, been dominated by Kendrick, I was able to do a complete shift, get back into my gritty raps from the East Coast. because you know how I feel about these guys out here, Griselda. So I was able to actually listen to what was it? Still, what is it? I can't even. West Side Guns album, Still Praying, which I think I had mentioned a couple weeks back, but I didn't actually get the chance to listen to it till just now. So it's been I've been living with it. I was like, I gotta listen to this. Trying to recap all the albums came out this year. Is this something that's gonna be on my list? I don't know, but I really loved it. It really catered to someone like me because he had a lot of wrestling references. he had a lot of just like gritty, grimy beats and like eclectic beats. Real like you got like jazz influence in there. You had all kinds of just like stuff that I love. It's just my kind of album. It really was. It really was my kind of album. You know, it really spoke to all the things that I love about like that type of hip hop, that type of music, that type of rap. Um, you know, very akin to some kind of MF Doom production too. So it really like warmed my heart to hear that. I wanted to hear him on certain songs. You know, it was like that really touched my soul. You know, so that was the whole album to me was great. If I had to call out songs that I really really loved off of it, I'd say Beef Bar, which is one of the first actual songs that plays out. Just I love West Side Gun, man. I don't know. He's not for everyone, I understand, but he's for me. He's for me. Just the things he says, like, he got me dying laughing. Like I just love to be able to enjoy the music in that way, right? It's again not to do too many comps to MF Doom, but it's very similar for me in terms of the experience I have listening to these guys rap, right? There's the track on there that has all of them on there, Conway, Benny, and I think Stove Got Cooks. It was a title track. It was, Still Praying. And that was just like epitome of like bad guy wrestler music. It was like, this is this epitomizes just like you're a heel, bro. Like you out here just terrorizing folks. That's what it was. And it was just, I don't know. It's been a great listening experience. I wish I had listened to it when it first come out so I could be living with it even more. But I'm glad I have it now. So Still Praying, West Side Gun. Give it a spin if you like that kind of music. If you're into that, again, it's gonna service that grimy rap. If that's what you want to hear, then go listen to it.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
West Side is amazing. I love West Side. When the talk about the big three, which is I hate that it's just there's just one, but if you had to rank people, like West Side is in like the top five in this generation, and he's like our age, which is so weird. But he's like West Side is dope. He's
Yeah.
like the Ghostface of that clique. Like nobody
Right.
expected Ghostface to be like the main one, and it's really West Side who kind of just became the main one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't spun that project yet, so I'm gonna have to go listen, and then I'll, and then we can rap about it, and then
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be fun.
but I'll go spin that.
Yeah. Go give it a spin.
Q, you want to go? You want me to go?
I'll go. It's just been a GNX week. It's been played. It was played during the preparation of our food. It was only paused during the prayer, and then it was turned back on. It's just been a West Coast week. All GNX all day. My whole family loves it. I love it. The more I listen to it, the less I skip anything. Everything has just grown on me. It's like, mossified all over now, and I'm GNX out. So, and it's so weird too. Like now I'm getting served in my algorithm for YouTube, especially like GNX car videos, like people who have like reviewed the car, and it's just, I'll click on it just to see, and I'll look in the comments, and they're just like, K Dot sent me here.
Yeah.
And it's just a review about the GNX model car, and it's so weird, but it's like it has been infectious to watch like other people have the same feeling like this shit is really good. It's really good. It's just a throwback album to like it's a regional sound. It has highs, it has quality, and you can just let it stay on repeat. You don't have to do anything. It's so fast and short. You'll be right back to your whatever your jam is on the album super quick. So you can just let it play. So I love that. I love that album. And then like as a Lucy, I think I listened to a track by Kyle Banks and Isaiah Rashad called Sun Story, which is pretty
Yes,
dope. So
sir.
yeah, it was nice to see Isaiah Rashad back outside. So yeah, give
Hey,
that a
and I've
spin
been
too. That's a
preaching
good
Al
song.
Banks in it for about a good 2-3 weeks. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fire.
yeah, solid, solid.
Um. All right. I'm switching it up. The best thing I heard this week is an album called Armageddon. Humbe. He's a Latin artist out of Monterrey, Mexico. Okay, and he wrote, co-produced, or produced, um, co-wrote and sang the entire album. So, and it's just vibes. 10 tracks, short and sweet, what we're looking for. And like GNX, I've just been spinning this track like over and over and over and over again. So it's I've been between this album and GNX. So when I'm like in a different mood, GNX is on, and then when I'm like, all right, I need to relax, I put this shit on, right? So this is incredible vibes. Like if you just looking for chill vibes, that's this album. Favorite track on there is Tinto de Verano. Shout out to you, baby. That's for you. That's I dedicate that one to the wife, right? That one that's my shit on there. I'm like, damn, this track goes hard. Like I said, the production is very electronic vibes. So, you know, again, if you're just ready for electronic kind of lo-fi turn down, this album is that. Um, Incredible singing voice, although he does a lot of processing to his voice to match what he's got going on sonically in the song. So I can tell this was a project that was like personal to him, and his fingerprints are all over it. Like he didn't go run, to Dr. Dre's point, he didn't go run to a bunch of producers to make an album. He just like, hey, we sitting down, and if you're going to co-produce with me, this is what I'm looking for. Otherwise, get the fuck out the booth and let me do my thing, right? Like that's what this feels like. And shout out to Humbe. Like let's get some Latin music out here. So he's been really, really, really good. Actually, I've spun a lot of his catalog. And just to everybody that voted for Trump, they're not all, you know, murderers and stuff. Some, you know, we got some good stuff out here. So, you know what I mean?
It's not that they're just not all. Most are not.
Yeah. Right? Hey, people out here,
99% of everyone
people out
is
here,
pretty normal.
just throwing it out there for you Trumpers. People contribute. I'm throwing it out there. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate your following. So hey, look, we're gonna get into it. I want to set the stage for this Drake conversation though, because I've thought a lot. I've watched a lot, probably too much, more than the wife wants me to. You know what I mean? She's like, shut the fuck up. You know, it's like when like when the beef was happening, the songs were dropping. Oh shit, you know, and all the ladies were like, oh my fucking god, stop talking to me about this shit.
Trying to
That's what I got
everything.
going on right now.
No, you don't
It's our version of Sex in
understand.
the City, bro. This is
You
important.
understand? Because when he says this, and then he goes here, and then oh man, it's blew my
Triple
mind.
entendre, and then he flipped it on himself. You're just like, all right, okay.
Now we're at 5 entendres. Like, okay,
Yeah.
nigga, shut up. Can't even spell entendre. So check it. I just want to set the stage here a little bit and just talk about. So I work in corporate America in the tech industry. Okay. I want to say a few things before we get our takes off. First, for large companies, we know that there's a lot of money behind them, right? Behind them. So the president and CEO isn't the boss, especially if you're a public company. The shareholders are the boss, and your largest shareholders are the boss. UMG is a public company. So for everybody thinking Drake can just sit down and be like, you need to give me this, and they walked in there with a board approved deal. They didn't walk in there and then like, oh, we got to go back to the board. The board said, this is what you can offer this nigga. And then if he don't take it, let's move the fuck on. Like we were prepared to walk away from this thing.
Well,
Okay?
and up to this, here's the range of negotiation.
Here's the range. So
Yeah.
they went in there and they said, start here and you can go up to here. And then, you know, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the scene in Ready Player One where old boy's hologram is in the corporate office for IOI. And then the negotiations fall through. And then he goes, I had to make the offer. The board expected it. This is what the fuck is happening to Drake right now, right? Like he's getting an offer that a board has approved already. So there's no go back to the board and see if you can get more. The board is like, we're good. The second thing here is understanding like this idea that Drake doesn't pay for any spins or anything like that. Okay. So Drake may not pay for spins himself. So Drake may not have given $1 towards spins, but that don't mean UMG didn't do whatever the fuck they needed to promote his music so they can make the billions that they've made on him, if that's the number we're throwing out there. So I just want to make sure that we, as we're having our conversations, we level set on reality a little bit and not do this like, oh, you know, Drake was the hottest thing. And who else is out there if Drake? UMG also has Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Travis Scott, Kendrick Lamar. Like Drake is not the one out here. They're some fledgling fucking company and he's the one blowing this shit up. Okay. That's not what's happening here. So we're not going to be the podcast that's out here with this. Like we're going to speculate, but we're not going to speculate on what the actual business side of this is. And I just want to kind of level set the conversation because I've been seeing this stuff and it's been making me kind of angry. Like if Drake is so big, then why is he still at the negotiating table? If he can go to Warner, then go to Warner, nigga. If you can go to Sony, then go to fucking Sony. Like, why are you forcing UMG to the table via lawsuit? And so on and so forth. So these things are stuff that I want to hit on today because I don't think that the public is having conversations like this. Like, okay, so Drake is all that, but he's sitting at Warner's table saying, give me some more. Nigga, walk away. Walk away, go do your own thing if you can. Oh, you can't because you're in a deal still? And shut the fuck up and do what they tell you, right? Like that's kind of where we're at with it. And so I wanted to set the table before we started getting any takes. I don't know where we want to start. If we want to start from, you know, the Karen aspect of this and how culturally hip hop is feeling until Drake releases some slaps and then maybe they'll forgive him. Or if we want to talk about, you know, the business side, like where you guys want to go.
I think we can start off with maybe just how everyone's feeling, you know, in reactions to hearing about the petitions, right? And then hearing about the filing of the lawsuits and just generally how everyone perceives it to be, right? I think it's been a mixed bag that I see on my algorithm. I mean, it still leans heavy Kendrick. I still see a lot of like just people shitting on Drake, which is great. But I have also seen the narrative. I have also seen the narratives of Drake being this. I don't know. Help me out with the word, guys. I don't want to say savior. I don't know what I want to say, but just like this hero, like yeah, like like he's you know. He's exposing the music industry and he's fighting for us. And it's just like, we so quickly, like, you know, forget like how we even got here in the first place. Right. So I have been seeing that narrative thrown around as well. And I really wanted to just pose the question to you guys about how you felt about that side of the narrative. Right. I think we're all in agreement with, or at least understand the approach from people that side with Kendrick and feeling like this is phony, but also the people that are really riding hard for Drake and saying like, no, he's doing something big for all of us, the malls of the world, right? The people out here that are out here saying like, you know, Drake's gonna fight in this fight for us, kind of, you know, type thing. You know, how do we feel about that? Because I know I had a visceral reaction to seeing that because it was, again, I know that the biggest thing for Drake is that he wants to get out of this deal. He wants to get out of this deal where he signed his life away, right? And I don't understand how he could have come from the lineage of Lil Wayne and not understood all the pitfalls that were there, you know, because he made the same mistakes, just at a bigger scale.
Shout out to Abel. Didn't sign his life away. Q, go ahead and give your reaction to that.
Yeah, you got to sing that part too. There you go. I think all of the conversation around the move in itself. Well, like, I'll talk about me first. I thought the move was a little sad. It was sad to see like you went from starting a fight to then getting your ass whooped and then tattletelling about it. Like, that's not fair. I should not be able to get hit in the head with a bat, even though I've hit other people in the head with bats. Like, these are just, them be the breaks. That's how it works sometimes, you reap what you sow. So my first reaction was, this is hella sad. Then I put on my grown up hat and said, you know what? Let me just analyze this from just the perspective of like right and wrong. Is it a good thing that he's doing? Kind of. And I say kind of because what he's trying to get out there, and again, there's no, I am not a fan, but just the act in itself, okay, this label may manipulate things. I'm going to expose it. That in its own right is a thing that I should be able to commend. But the part that stops me from commending it is that you had to use an opponent as your example. Why couldn't you use yourself? That is what a martyr does. A martyr sacrifices of themselves. He sacrificed nothing. He's trying to put, there's an altar, there's a pyre or an altar, and he's trying to put Kendrick on it and say all his stuff is fake. Someone serve this up to the gods. And I'm like, well, where's your offering? Put your offering up there. Why don't you put views up there and say views actually didn't sell great, but here's how they artificially inflated it. God's Plan or Hot Like Bling, I hate that song, but it has a billion streams or whatever. Those are all fake. People really didn't like that song. I am a creation, and to assist in my brethren and other artists like me going forward, I want to put myself forward as the sacrifice. Forget about me as a pop star or whatever. It's all artificial. Or if you love my music, great. Thank you for your support. But the numbers can't be trusted. Your feeling about the song can be. That's a sacrifice. Like, that's a martyr. So I'm like, yeah, is the action good? Maybe, but it would have been better had you served yourself up first. That's kind of where I left it.
I had a lot of feelings. First one is what everybody's saying. Like, can this nigga be any whiter than he is right now? Like, man, you a bitch, right? Like, that was my first visceral reaction. Like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, god damn, I ain't never seen somebody run to the police so fast. Right after we have been talking about for months, Q, just me and you on the phone, then and me and you on this very podcast about why he did not sue for defamation when that song came out. Because I was like, I don't give a fuck what my credibility is going to get shot. Like, you're not about to be out here calling me a PDF file and my whole crew and everything and not get slapped with a cease and desist. Like, that's not going to happen. I don't give a fuck who feels what way about it. Right. That was just weird.
But we'll talk about that more. I'm sure you'll get into it, but you can't sue. There's nothing to sue about.
That's fine, right? Like, but initially that's my initial visceral reaction is like, okay, so this thing was fine until you needed to go read up your money. Then, you know what I mean? And then I took that emotional hat off and then I just said, okay, let me sit back and just think about what happens from a corporate perspective. That's what we do. I always say, Nene, like, the billboard is necessary. It's how, even if the numbers are fake, it's how we're judging success. Sure. So until we come up with a different metric, we need numbers, right?
Yeah.
So from a corporate standpoint, if I put the tinfoil hat on, right? So the rumors are calls happen. Hey guys, we about to get both of y'all jumping off with a rap beef. All right, here's the rules for this rap beef. No families. Cool. Like that. Push-ups. Something about Whitney. That's one, Drake. You only get one more, and then we're done. 3 strikes and you out, nigga. Okay. So then, push-ups comes out. Tailor Made comes out. No. Right. Then here comes Euphoria, Drake. This is a friendly fade. We doing this for the money. But if you want to get serious, nigga, I'm ready to crash out. Okay? So we set up, we on the phone. Fucking Lucian, Top, me, you, we all on the phone. This is a friendly fade. Keep it friendly. J. Cole catches wind that this fade is not gonna be friendly. Nigga, I'm out. I don't got nothing invested in this. I thought we was just rap battling for the money, right? J. Cole's out of here.
I'm on
Peace.
Rock Nation.
I don't got nothing invested in this. I'm out. Okay, cool. 616 in LA. You got one more. I've already heard this song, nigga. You got one last chance to not drop this fucking song because I'm getting ready to end your shit. Because I already know. And everybody knew, right? He got something in the tuck. Mal, he got something in the tuck. Right? Nuclear bomb going to end this fucking rap shit.
Red
okay.
button.
It's the red button. He's going to push the red. Okay. So push the red button. He drops Family Matters. Which in terms of diss tracks was cool. We all critiqued it for various things, right? Not focusing solely on Kendrick. Some information that may or may not be true. Kendrick immediately shits on that with Family Matters, which is the crash out part of this now, right? Like you didn't abide by the rules because you think you're bigger than this shit.
Meet the Grams,
right?
Meet the Grams.
So we had, I'm sorry, Meet the Grams, right? You're right. So he drops Meet the Grams. And again, if we're going back to the tinfoil hat shit, the call said leave the fams out of this because if I bring your family in, the shit is done. Meet the Grams drops, then Not Like Us drops, right? And now your shit is done. You're done. Mm-hmm. It's a wrap. Mm-hmm. So when I played it out in my mind like that, knowing that these things, knowing that the rumors were after Not Like Us came out, UMG was on the phone with Kendrick and Top and trying to say, hey, we need to get this song taken down. That was some of the dialogue that was going on at the time. How we forget, right? Like there were supposedly conversations where they were like, hey, we got to stop the motion of this track. And Top Dog and Kendrick were like, fuck you niggas. Like we told this nigga. That track is going to go where it goes now. It's out. Mm-hmm. You ain't going to stop it. It's on YouTube now. So take it off DSPs. No one fucking cares. It's out. Right?
Everywhere.
It's
everywhere. Yeah. We won't take it down. So you can take it off of DSPs and not make the money, or you can leave it on DSPs and make the money. It's up to you, but it's out.
It was on NBA on TNT. It was on MLB on Fox, bro. It was crazy.
That fucking weekend. It was out. It's in the clubs. It's in right. All the rumors, all the things was, hey, this song was in people's hands before it dropped because it's in the club tonight. Right. So when I reacted like that, when I started thinking about this, I'm like, oh, okay. So there was already some corporate shit happening because I think even the baby was like, hey, somebody called me to try and start a rap beef because they were seeing the money stack up from having a rap beef. Mm-hmm. And so this was all supposed to be an entertainment product. To Kendrick's point, he was like, I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. I don't give a fuck if I never sell another record again. I'm ready to crash out. And so now that we get to these petitions, I think it's interesting that he still cannot petition Kendrick Lamar or cannot directly sue Kendrick Lamar for whatever those reasons are. He may end up doing it, may not, but he didn't do it. And then I'm like, I think this is him trying to spin the narrative because he tried to get his 100 gigs off. He tried to feature a couple times. None of this shit was popping for him. And so now he very Trump-like needs to change the narrative. And how do I do that? I file a petition. And because niggas don't know the difference between a petition and a claim, they're like, Drake is suing. He must have a good reason to sue. Right? He's not suing. He's trying to get information. He may very well not be granted this petition. He may get this petition off and may get information and be like, I'm not filing suit now that I have all this information. And I think that we just need to, I started to kind of calm down because we initially were like, rap beefs are over. And I'm like, no, they can make money on rap beefs still. Right? Like, it doesn't matter what the fuck Drake is talking about. We can still make money on rap beefs. And I was just like, all right. So now that Drake has been a Karen and he's Karened, right? And Kendrick's not being sued, I kind of just turned into like, all right, we're good. Let me put this GNX on. Okay. And Drake, you a whole bitch for suing in the way that you're suing. Like, it just is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just causing it like I sees it. This is bitch ass in terms of hip hop. In terms of hip hop, you called this nigga outside. He came outside. You begged this man to come outside. He came outside, whooped your ass, and then you needed to go in the house, but you wanted to stay outside, and now you're suing because you're trying to change the narrative, and you using these shucking and driving ass niggas like Akim Mall to push your narrative that you're trying to die on a hill for the music industry. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Like, that is legit how I felt. Get the fuck out of here. You Ja Rule, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Right? Like, don't nobody want to hear this shit no more.
And that, to you saying Ja Rule brings up a point that I wanted to stress, that like, what is his leverage here? Like, what? So the public are the people who consume the music, right? At the end of the day, like, UMG could have bot farms all over the fucking place. At the end of the day, you have to, like, you validate that by listeners and like the feeling. That's what even the stock market is based on. It's based on a feeling of confidence, right? You have a feeling that this person is popular, and you validate it through bullshit numbers, like Nene says, or through like hard album sales. But to Ryan's point, Ja Rule still exists. He put out music after the beef. Once the public moves off of you, who gives a shit about your back catalog or what you put out going forward? It's a harsh game, man. It's the fucking Roman Coliseum. Basically, it's like, hey, thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, what are we doing? And it's up to the people to choose. So how do you quantify like pop culture? You know what I mean? To say like, hey, these people deserve to have me as the front facing person of hip hop. Like, I am owed to be more popular than Kendrick. Based on what? If the people say we don't fuck with you, they don't fuck with you. It's a cold world. Like, that's the industry that you've been eating off of, right? For X amount of years. You don't get to now dictate the terms. You only get to reap the benefits. And when the benefits stop, it's a hard stop. Like, that's it. Ja Rule went through it. Kanye kind of has gone through it, right? So I've seen like a lot of theories out there on like why he's gone crazy, or quote unquote, is he actually crazy, or was he just trying to get out of a deal, right? That's a fucking maniacal way to get out of a deal, to go as far as he's gone. But to that point, like, does anyone care about Kanye's back catalog except for like core original Kanye fans? Like, is he getting any new fans? Like, once the industry, quote unquote, and the public moves off you, they're off you. And that's just what happens. And it's going to happen to every artist from now till forever. It'll happen to Kendrick at a certain point, right? Hopefully, I hope it doesn't happen for many years, but I mean, he's an older artist. Drake's an older artist. Kanye, Ja Rule, you know, it's just public perception moves off you.
Yeah.
And it's okay. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Nene,
Man, fucking.
what's your sense of this situation?
So, I guess, yeah, bouncing off of Q's point, it's like, yeah, navigating this situation like you're owed all the eyes and all the attention and all the recognition. Again, I always shit on Billboard and shit on the numbers, because I say the tangible product is when you can get people to buy something, like legit buy something with their hard-earned money, or when they show up to a show, people that you are able to bring out somewhere, right? That's how you'll know whether or not it's real, right? And I feel like Drake, and has been spiraling ever since the the beef has played out the way it has, right? And he's continued to spiral and spiral, and you've seen him continue to expose himself for who he truly is. And I think a lot of the misunderstandings he had about the way that this business works, right? There's been a lot of narratives about what kind of control and what kind of leverage he really has, right? And I think he's realizing he really doesn't have a whole lot of control and a whole lot of leverage, right? Again, we talk about it all the time. You signed your life away. You signed your whole likeness away to this conglomerate, right? So you are owned by them, and you are you are failing to realize just what really truly what that means and how tied down you really are, right? And I think um, that's why we feel like it's sad to see in a sense a little bit, right? Because it's like, yeah, like everybody knew except you, I guess, and you're the last one to know, and that's, I guess, always how it works. You're always the last to know when you've fallen off, when you're not it no more, when everyone's turning their backs on you, you're the last to know. And he's finding that out in real time in the public. He's learning about these concepts that just don't apply to him. It's like, yeah, you can't. We're gonna nix this whole 100 gigs thing because that's not it. You can't do that. That's in this section of this contract under this line. You know what I'm saying? They're playing the business game with him, right? And so, in that sense, I understand how even us that we're not super sympathetic to Drake, we could be like, man, that sucks to just be seeing that in real time. Like it's bad. But um but we also hold his feet to the fire because again, he navigates this whole space as if it's mine. It's owed to me. Right. And everyone's looking at it like, no, it's not. And it's not your time no more. Right.
So I'm gonna say this. Y'all two have sympathy. I have no sympathy for this nigga. He's getting what he deserves. So as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I told you over a phone call, like, man, I wanted to give this cat so much credit for at least just coming out to fight. But then if you're gonna end the fight like this, oh hell no. Like, nah. The credit taken away. I don't give a shit that you put out a record calling Kendrick out. I don't give a shit that you responded to any if it's gonna end like this, your heart was never in this. You were never trying to do this for the culture or were trying to abide by any, like no one said, like any rules of engagement. You were just out here shooting from the hip, hoping that you hit something, trying to win at all costs, and you lost, and you just can't swallow it.
So pause, Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey, yo.
Yeah. I let that one hang out there. He can't swallow. Yep.
You let that hang out there.
Hey, let that sit right there. You'll let that one sit right there.
What?
No pause.
He said resume, bro. Let's go.
I want to double click on a couple of things you said, Nana.
Yes.
So first and foremost, we reserve the right to change our opinion as we get more information, but based on the information we have, right, Drake is in a $400 million deal where his name, image, and likeness, at least the name, image, and likeness of Drake is fair game for UMG to make money off of, which, like you said, which is why the 100 gigs shit didn't pop. Yeah. The way he wanted it to. Tried to release it on some independent shit, and they was like, no, nigga, take that shit down per the contract, and we'll clear what we clear, because he can't even get samples through, which is cleared, which is weird for somebody of his stature, right? Mm-hmm. This is obviously the company being the company,
right? He's not making the decision.
I was reading
if I can clear that sample. It's the company making that decision,
right? And I was reading an article by the Rolling Stone, and they were just kind of talking to some industry people, and I read this quote. Drake's actions feel more like the moves of a CEO protecting his bottom line than an artist whose genuine interest is restructuring the same system he has benefited from. Right. And I think that's where we're saying this is the disingenuous part of this, because you're not putting yourself out there. You're not saying God's plan was botted, so I know how they play these games on smash hits. Yeah. Right. That's not what you're saying. You're not saying Hotline Bling was botted. It was payolaed. I know that because I know Not Like Us was done that way, because this is how they did my smashes. Mm-hmm. Right. Like that will be something I could be like, oh, okay, I could get behind this. This nigga's trying to bring the industry down, but he's not doing that. And, you know, it's I want to try and like think about what we're talking about when we say bots. Right. Let's try and understand what this means, because, again, all eyes were on this rap beef in the world. All eyes were on this rap beef. It was a worldwide sensation. We were all, privy to and watching on YouTube and whatever ways you stream this music. Right. And so to suggest that the world was already not on the lookout for this, it's just disingenuous. Like, we were waiting for drops. We were waiting. The world was waiting on drops from you guys. So 30 million instant listens is not because, I mean, I think the Not Like Us video has like 1 billion streams on YouTube or some shit like that right now, right? This, like, come on. And if you're saying bots contributed to 30 million, no one fucking cares. That's not what made the song go viral, right? Like the song went viral because we were all participating in an entertainment product that you and Kendrick were putting out for our consumption. Right. And this, him going out like this way, I'm not understanding it. And I don't feel right looking at niggas like Maul and Act, people on the payroll coming out like, you know, hey, this is really what the situation is. Right. I'm looking suspect at anybody who's like being Drake's publicist right now and pushing Drake's narrative right now, because the narrative feels disingenuous. You're trying to spit in my face right now and tell me or piss on me and tell me it's raining. And you're just acting like I didn't witness this. We were all up all weekend waiting on drops. You dropped Family Matters. Oh, what's Kendrick going to respond? Oh shit, Meet the Grams comes out. Oh shit, now we ain't going nowhere. You know, queues up till 5 a.m. down the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? And then
I was a mess, and I was loving every second of it. I haven't felt like that since I was like a teenager, like excited for something to happen. Like, oh, Xbox 360 is coming out. I gotta go get one. Can't wait. Nah, this was like that, and it was glorious. But it was real. To your point, Nolan, it was real. That was real.
Q has kids and a wife. And shit. This nigga was up all night waiting for a beat, and he's not the only one. We all were doing that. We were up night,
everyone,
and so to try and then say, oh, this track wasn't going to be popular outside of it being botted. It's just, and again, all right, let's peel the kimono back then, right? And if we start showing shit, Nina, you were sitting on this very podcast talking about Travis Scott's Day Before Rodeo numbers.
Oh, bruh.
You were sitting on this
because I was there when it first dropped, and I was like, oh, like when I was excited for it, I was like, oh shit, Travis Scott, right? This is still mixtape era Travis Scott, right? So I felt that, right? And then I was like, we're not gonna recreate this shit 10 years later, right? Like, what are you talking about? These kids grew up. I was one of those kids that grew up, right? I'm not running back to Days Before Rodeo because I was there for the original Days Before Rodeo. It was ridiculous. Yeah. So yeah, I was calling it out.
It did 291. What do you want? Like, I don't know. What do you want?
It's on the paper. It must be real.
It must be real. They can't put it on the internet if it's not.
It's
true.
on the internet.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, I think that I think I've said ad nauseum how I feel about this man. I even tried to shoot him bail before this shit happened. Like, I was even like, hey, Drake's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right, man. Fuck him. This is right. Like,
I was the only one telling no one he is not all right. It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
We've been alive long enough to see the career death of many artists.
Right.
If it can happen to Michael Jackson, it can happen to anyone. Yeah. And Drake ain't no motherfucking Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. I got a question for you, Nene. I want you to react to this.
Okay.
Remember when Drake's the fake Heart Part 6? Remember when that came out? And Kendrick was being fed info by OVO. So how you gonna file a defamation suit now? You on wax saying I told this nigga I was a pedophile. Right? Like, you on wax.
Loud and proud. He was like, and we fed you the information, bruh. And it's like,
and you ran with it. So give me your opinion on, now that we're here with the defamation petition, petition, how we feel about the Heart Part 6 as a diss track at this point. Because even the Drake Glazers were like, the Heart Part 6, that shit is hard. How do we feel now?
Even the Drake Glazers were like, that shit's not hard. They were like, oh, beef's over, but you know, it was a good fight. It was a good fight, you know. You know, they were trying so hard, but it was like, nah. Everyone knew that wasn't it. It's non-existent at this point. I mean, it's been blipped out of the universe. Right? It's no longer. It's like a part we forget. We end the beef at Not Like Us. We forget that hard part. It's gonna be like people are gonna like look back at this like they did Tupac and Biggie. People that didn't live through it, right? And they're gonna be like, oh, and then we're gonna be like, oh, don't forget the Hard Part 6 came out right after that, and that shit flopped, and that's when we knew he was dead in the water, right? So that's the only reference we're gonna have to his version, quote unquote, of the Hard Part 6. You know what I find funny about this? I'll say this one thing about this whole situation with, you know, feeding information, as Drake was saying that they were doing is, you know, Drake did the same thing that they're trying to get all these kids for, about talking about, you know, living their raps, you know, and getting them on that and saying, you know, people, you know, the kids in Atlanta where they're like, hey, we're quoting you. This is what you said on this song, and this is why you're being charged with this, right? And then it's hilarious to me that Drake is filing a lawsuit, even though he's on wax, like you said, saying, we fed you the information that I am being quote unquote defamed for. So what we doing, bro? Everywhere he goes, it's an L. He looks this way, L, this way, L. In front of him, L. In the mirror, L. It's just, it's tough, bro. It's tough.
Michael Jordan dashing L's to himself.
Yeah, man. It's the LeBron James of L's. It been in the league for 20 years. This L been in the league for 20 years. Q, I got a question for you. Something I want you to react to. All right. UMG's not paying Drake. Okay, I'm just getting messy right now. UMG is like, we don't need to pay Drake because we got the AI back here. His name's Blake. We call it Blake because of Black Drake. And we could just reproduce your whole catalog AI because we got the whole shit. How do you feel about this kind of, because that's what I think is going on. I think they're like, nigga, we don't need you for what? We got your catalog. Fuck, we train the large language model right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's Shakespearean, right? Shout out to fucking Company Man. He calls it Shakespearean shakedown, but it's like you used AI in a song, and now your I don't know, interim bosses might be willing to use it in perpetuity to recreate sounds that you would normally make on your own. It's fucked up. It's corporate America. It it is capitalism. You know what I mean? He's from Canada. I don't understand why he doesn't understand how everything gets down here. It's how can we make it for cheaper? How can we make it with less manpower? How can we make more of it? That's it. Like commodified, totally. And I'm kind of, again, I normally, if let's say the roles were reversed, right? If all this was happening to Kendrick, let's say Kendrick loses the battle, but everything is the same. Same record, same everything, but just public perception is like Drake won. And Kendrick is like fighting the label. Maybe we don't do like the whole lawsuit thing, but let's just say even there was a lawsuit. I would still kind of feel like this is all kind of tainted though. It doesn't, I don't care as much. I'm not as invested. I want something to happen with some backbone. And that's been the dopest thing about this whole battle is that like we haven't heard shit from Kendrick, but just a brief interview on Harper's Bazaar. That's it. Like Drake is just Nene said it best. He keeps catching L's, but they are so self-inflicted at this point that it's like you didn't play outside in the street ever. Like, homie, we broke the glass at the neighbor's house. Are you going to run with the rest of us? Are you going to just wait around here to say, I didn't do it, and the guys who did do it, they all ran that way? Like, there's no awareness. The lack of self-awareness or the blatant just disregard for it. Like, I don't care. I just want to win. Dude, he can have it, and his fans can have it. Like, it is it is the best thing I've seen this year. Watching this again, I've always thought the comeback season was dope. And then after that, I listened to a few songs off of So Far Gone. And then after that, I was like, oh, I'm out. And to have to be out back in 2008 and still have to sit through all this, I've been like, oh my God, why are we still doing this? So this is glorious to me to just kind of watch it all like fall apart in such a magnificent public way. So I'm like, this is the only way that this could be purged. You can't just bleach this. Nah, we just gotta like, we gotta nuke the house. It's over. Like it's just we gotta really start from scratch. New flora and fauna, new everything. Just repopulate this world.
I
I
see
don't
you with
know.
the bars, Keith, too. Bleach this, Drake is white. I got you. I see you.
Damn, I didn't catch that. Shit.
So look at that. Shit, you've been listening to too
crazy.
much Kendrick.
Yeah, for real.
Damn, I didn't even catch that. I got it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean, but you know.
All right. So let's talk about a little bit of the one other thing I wanted to hit, and then whatever you want to get off, we can get off, right? One of the other things I wanted to hit was the idea that okay, so Not Like Us was botted or Kendrick is botted. I want to kind of shoot down this narrative a little bit because Camp Flog Gnaw just happened, and we saw 20,000 plus people still singing Not Like Us, right? We saw the pop out, like the pop out happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so to suggest that this song is only popular because of a 30 million bot purchase, I'm trying to see how we even get here because I'm like, look, to my point earlier, we were listening to this song. We were waiting for songs. We were waiting for music to come out from both of you. And then when music did come out from both of you, there's a corporate aspect, Nana, that we got into heavily. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after the Super Bowl announcement. So now there's a corporate aspect to this. Where, you know, you out here messing with Jack Dorsey's woman, allegedly, right? We don't know, according to the streets, right? There's like billionaires behind this motion for Kendrick, and there's like thousandaires behind whatever the fuck. Like, you know, I don't know what, I'm not pocket watching Akim all, but they definitely don't have the influence that Jack Dorsey has, that's for sure, right?
Right.
And so I just want to kind of just unpack this idea that we didn't just watch with our eyes millions of people around the world listen to the song, stream the song, whatever they did with the song.
Well, yeah, it's like, you know, we're coming off of having experienced this all year, and specifically in that time when the beef was happening. Again, we just quoted each other about like what was going on during the beef and how like we had fucking vision boards of what was happening next. Oh my God, this is connected to this. And, you know, we were all detectives and it was crazy. It was a crazy time, right?
Fucking crime scene in there. I got fucking strings all over the fucking house, like drawing
Exactly.
back.
Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything.
So much fun. So much fun.
It was, and you know, so we are all referencing back to that experience we had. And so we all felt that, you know, that was the tangible thing we could get from the beef in that moment, in that time period, was that we all felt it, that everyone wanted to talk about it, that you would talk about it and upload it, and it didn't matter who it was coming from. It was getting spins. We were getting spins, bro. Like we had just started out, and we were like, this couldn't have been any better for us to have gotten, you know, the Kendrick Drake bump, right? So, but to that, you know, that's why it's so hilarious to us now to be looking at like them trying to tell us like, or, you know, Drake trying to tell us like, oh, like that wasn't real. Like, bro, don't tell me that's not real, bro. I felt that in my soul. Okay. Like I was there, and you cannot tell me different. We're not talking 20 years later when you can try to change history. You try to like, oh no, this isn't really what happened. You weren't there, so you don't know. It's like, no, like we were all literally there. We all felt it. There's a the feeling aspect of experiences is so criminally underrated, right? But it's because it's hard to quantify, right? It's hard to quantify it, and that's why we gotta give it up to fucking Billboard and shit to give us stupid numbers, because because we still haven't figured out a way to quantify feeling, right? Feeling in a sense where the only way I know that for music is when you go to a concert. Are you selling out arenas? Are you selling out theaters? Are you selling out smaller venues? Right. That's kind of how you get to understand. Well, who is this person really? Right. Where do they really sit? But I don't know, man. It's like you said, don't piss on me and tell me that it's raining, bro. Like we out here, bro. I don't know what that's to tell you. We felt it. Pause.
Not like us is 19 on Billboard, by the way.
Let's go.
So
I heard he got a bump.
yeah, I think Kendrick's album sales definitely got a bump. I mean, I know he was only projected on this to do, I think it was like 291 or something in the projection, somewhere around there.
Where did he end up?
With Drake trying to step on it. They haven't put it out yet. At least I haven't seen it yet. But the projections are he'll be actually closer to like 330, 340 or something like that on the first week.
Let's go back to our prediction.
And that's exactly. And that's just off of everybody being like, all right, fuck you, Drake. We're getting ready to go spend GNX and not like us. And so, yeah. It is what it is. Any other thing? Because I actually do have another question for you guys. Any other things about Drake and his whole shit he's on, his bitch assness?
Dog, how long till he's in a video with Trump? Like how long?
I think he should have already done it. He should have already done it, as far as I'm concerned.
After January,
with Elon,
in that February time.
Because when you said, right? Because when you said no one, like, oh, Kendrick has billionaires, and I'm like thinking to myself, well, so does Drake. I just don't think that we acknowledge them as like complete humans all the time.
So okay, so let me clarify, right? Because most billionaires probably went Republican in the election. Like, let's be real. Like, there's not a whole lot of billionaires out here championing the people, if there are really any, right? But when I'm saying that, what I'm saying is, regardless of their political leanings, they recognize that there's more money to be made backing Kendrick than there is backing Drake, and so they're willing to put the money there. And so to the whole corporate aspect of this, or when we think about like. And I broke down Drake's Billboard numbers, as real or fake as they are. We saw a decline. And if you're going to go negotiate a contract, so when I left my other job, you both know this, like when I left my other job to go to the one that I'm at now, I asked for some money. They said no. I went and got the other bag. Then when I told them I'm out, they were like, can we match? And I said, no, now it's more, because I went and got the other bag, right? So you don't come to the table and say, I'm the man. You go to the table and say, I'm going to go get this bag if y'all don't give me what I'm asking for, right? I'm going to just go over here, because that's actually the leverage. But because you can't go over there, that's not leverage to them. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to come in, you can't go on what the catalog did, because they're going to say, we made that money. How much money are you going to make us? Right? Which is why I think they made the beef happen in the first place, so they can big up the profile of both, drop albums, and then they're all still in the zeitgeist, right? And so, but what what it feels like he's doing to me is he's coming with no leverage and he's trying to sue for leverage, right? Like, that's what it feels like to me. And they've told him, go fuck off. Like, we done microwaved Atlanta trap sound. White people can do this all day. We don't need you niggas for this rap shit no more. Go the fuck away. We don't fucking care. And Kendrick
it's real. It's real. Like, There Will Be Blood. Like, I'll drink your milkshake from over here, right? Even though underneath there's oil and you think you're getting oil, but it all comes from a source. I can drink it from over here and over there, and I could just dilute your shit and drain it out. It's gone.
And Kendrick has given an authentic regional sound that can't be duplicated, which is why East Coast niggas ain't feeling it, because they don't understand that the West is enforcers of this hip hop shit. Who said fuck the police first? We did. Who came through and crushed the building? Shout out to Suge. We did. Who got Drake the fuck up out of here? The West Coast. So the West Coast is the enforcers for this rap shit, right? And so
West.
And so just reacting to that. It's just a whole corporate thing that we as lay persons don't understand. I'm only going off the information I have. As I get more information, I'll have a corporate aspect to say. So I said a lot of shit right there.
A lot of shit going on, man. It's crazy. And it's so much fun. Again, I just keep saying this is the best show on television this year. Best show on the internet this year.
Fucking season 400 and whatever of America. See what next season has in store for us.
Oh shit.
Nene, anything else on Drake?
I think we laid out
we hit it
all the Drake situation. I think we hit all the points. I think we beat a dead horse too. But you know, that was fun.
Me and Q, when we was in high school, we would have called this nigga a hoe cake. So I'm going back to that.
Shout out MF Doom.
Yeah.
So I actually wanted to talk to you guys too, because what also got stepped on with these petitions was the Squabble Up video, which dropped and turned me all the way up. I was like, damn, this video is hard. So Nene, initial reactions to Squabble Up.
I think we had touched on it because I think it had just dropped when we were shooting last time. And I think we talked about how, like, for me, I love that track when I heard it on the album, hearing the full track, you know, and then what he did with it, with that sample, right? It was just like, yo, you can't not get up and just start. You know what I mean? It's just like, you're gonna dance, right? Yeah, but you're gonna feel it. But seeing the video, seeing, you know, Kendrick has a way of just dominating the the screen that he's on in his music videos, where like the facial expression is giving everything. It's just like he's giving that a la damn face, you know, like, you know, it was just it was great. It was great to see all the homages he was paying in the video, right? I think there was homages to like and also like subtle shots. I don't know. I know it's being debated, like to the like to the roots and stuff, and then I think, or you know, and then also like Ice-T, I think, right, got paid homage to, and then there was like that like tie-in to the Mexican influence too, like just I don't know, there was a lot of cool shit in the video that made me be like, yo, I didn't go in like deep and like try to dissect everything like the Not Like Us video. I just tried to enjoy it for what it was. I played it on the screen, had my daughter dancing to it. You know, like it was just a fun time. That's what I could tell you about the video. It was a fun time for us over here. So yeah.
Nice. Now that you've had, I know Squabble Up wasn't your favorite when you gave the album the first couple spins, but now that you've had a chance to sit with the video, I'm sure you watched it at least 11 times. How are you feeling about it now?
I understand it, and I like it a lot more than I did when I first saw it. Because again, I wasn't dancing. I was chilling in the crib. There wasn't a crowd around me, and I'm like, oh, this is a dance song. I got it. And it's fucking fire. I've seen a lot of theories online about the context of the video and like some connections. I forgot who said it, wish I can give them credit, but like a lot of like connections to Menace to Society. And I was like, that's really amazing. If that all checks out, pretty fucking dope. Pretty dope. Just that like the GNX car is the only car or it's the only time the car is shown in the movie and there's a murder that happens.
Yeah, the
drive-by. And then after it, the main character, Kane, is like laying in his bed talking about, I didn't want to have to do that to someone. I just wanted to know that I could now. So it's like, that's really interesting to then connect it to like the beef, right?
Right.
But the video was just dope. All of the imagery, it's really cool. I don't think that anyone caught strays. And I to your point, Nene, like there definitely was like it's very the next movement. It is that video.
Yeah.
But, you know, is it homage? Is it shots? I don't know, because he don't say nothing. So you don't really know, like, man, is he picking me up or did he just shit on me? Like, you don't know. So you just take it as a compliment and just keep it pushing. Like, you don't know. It's a great talent.
Shout out to yeah, I love this. I told you when I heard it, I was like, I love this song. I love the sample. I loved everything about it. I love the video. I think if Kendrick is bringing you up and he's not Okay, so if Kendrick is not bringing you up in a way like in control, like that wasn't a shot at anybody. He was just saying, I'm trying to be bigger than all of you guys, right? And I think if he brought you up, then he respects you. And clearly Aubrey took that the wrong way. Big Sean, I don't know if he was on that list or not, but you know, he felt the way about it, and Jay Electronica all felt the way about it. But Real Ones was like, all right, well, we gonna get in the booth and rap at this dude. And so, you know, when we look at Squabble Up, is it homage to Ice-T? It could be a homage and a shot. Two things could be true. It could be a homage and a shot at the Roots, right? Like when I go back to Whacked Out Murals and he's like, old ass flows trying to convince me that you they favorite. Might be talking about Ice Cube because he was on that album. I was Kendrick Lamar before Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
That might be shots at Ice Cube.
Right.
And I don't know if that was planned or not. Stepped on Ice Cube's release.
Yeah.
Right? Because he shock dropped that shit.
I hope not. I really hope not.
But hey, Kendrick is tired of these niggas because that's a little cloudy to me for you to say that right now, Cube. Like Cube has come outside at the same time he was dropping an album, right? And he's been outside. Not that he hasn't been outside, but he did the Dodgers stuff. He's, you know what I mean? He's more prominent in our face right now. And then the album drops. He's saying shit like that. I was Kendrick before Kendrick. Okay, well,
they did ask him. So I'm sure someone asked him a question. I don't think it was unprovoked. Like they were talking about, like, so how was it with the Dodgers? I was Kendrick before Kendrick. You know what I mean? It's like, so and he's an older head, right? Like he has standing in the culture. Like he's allowed to say that because again, he was motherfucking the most feared rapper. When he was out. That's just what it was.
I can appreciate you shooting him some bail. If someone asked you, you don't have to say, I was Kendrick Lamar before Kendrick. You shout out to Kendrick. He was doing his thing. I was out here when I was doing my thing. Right? Like, so
right.
Yeah, he don't, and I completely understand what he's doing. He didn't have to. I'm Kendrick Lamar before Kendrick Lamar. He don't have to do that. Like, you know what I mean?
Your Cube voice is crazy, man.
You don't have to do that because if I'm Kendrick Lamar, I'd be like, hold on, you're one of my idols. You don't need to tear me down to build you up. Like just you got it. You got it, big homie. Like you got it. So and we know he shot at Snoop. Like I think that was a shot at Snoop. I don't think that was just like, all right, I gotta let that shit go. I like the energy, getting back to the video, I like the energy of the whole video. And I love the aspect of, you know, are the Pan-African flags? A shout out to Ebony Prince with all the fucking secret info. You know what I mean? Like I love getting exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like I love all the aspects where he just got us all thinking. Like, what the fuck? What's that belt buckle? How many fucking pins are on the belt buckle? You know what I mean? Like, he's just got us out here. This nigga drops, and then we turn into Inspector Gadget, and I fucking love every second of it. Like, it's fantastic.
I mean, I got a Pan-African flag in my house, you know? It's like, yeah, you know. But again, it's so, there's just so much.
Are you Ebony Prince, my nigga? Are you Ebony Prince? Rated out?
I'm not Ebony Prince, man. I don't got the time. You know, I just don't got the time anymore. I could have been one, you know, years ago. I could have been. I don't got that kind of time.
100. How y'all feeling? Y'all feel good? Anything else?
Man, I can't wait for next week. I can't wait. We all know as soon as we hang up, tomorrow some crazy shit is about to happen. It's amazing. What an amazing time. In music, in entertainment. It's just so much fun.
Yeah. And hey, Drake, if you're reading this, it's too late, man.
And hey, Drake, what a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. Hey, Drake. Nothing was the same. Nothing.
Honestly, never mind.
His discography reads like a get the fuck out of here, Drake.
Yeah, for real.
God damn. Not your discography is betraying you, nigga. God damn. Like, what the fuck? You appreciate you, brother. Really appreciate you. And then as always, be on the lookout for we're getting ready to drop the nominees for the Odyssey pod. So yeah, we're gonna want some fan input. Q, we're gonna want your input, but yeah, we're gonna drop that real soon. I'm excited for that because I got a lot of shit to talk to you now.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
And you know what? For you, Q, R&B album of the year. Let's get this shit out the way. He's nominating Ty in that Divorce album. We're gonna put that shit up there, and we'll see if it wins.
Tyrese shit was fire.
So
it's not the R&B album of the year. That belongs to Leon Thomas, but Tyrese is like number 2 or number 3. Okay, stop hating. Okay,
we don't know who it's going to be, but we know that Tyrese will be nominated, and if
he'll be in there.
Also, he has a chance to win. Okay,
he has a chance to win.
Yeah,
and
that's all we want. We just want a chance.
If you're
even when we're sad, we want a chance.
When you're getting if you are getting a divorce right now, do not listen to Tyrese's album. Do not need to be in that space.
It's just so melancholy, bro.
That's a rough headspace.
Do not listen to that shit.
Watch looking like a ball from a disco. In a limo making calls from a brick phone. Maradona bounced the ball on a shin bone. Tan Buttercup the raw got a